Hello from Victoria and me. Welcome to this evening's programme.
First tonight, workers at a council in Norfolk have been told they won't be paid when they take time for cigarette breaks.
Breckland Council has approved a measure which requires workers to clock off if they want to smoke.
Some campaigners say it discriminates against smokers, but tonight there's speculation that the idea could spread to other workplaces. Elodie Harper reports.
Braving the rain for a fix. And from November, staff here at Breckland Council will also be paying for the privilege of having a soggy cigarette. Council worker Julie Britton is already in the habit of clocking off to smoke. 2 or 3 cigarette breaks take about 15 minutes out of her working day.
I think smokers are looked down upon. A few years ago you were able to, have a smoke in the pub, and now you have to go outside.
Were you quite worried that smoking might be banned altogether?
Yes, I was. I filled in the survey saying that I'd much rather have the clocking in and out system brought in and formalised rather than having it banned, because we would have had to gone, completely off-site.
Supporting clocking off because it's better than a ban doesn't seem like the most positive endorsement, but the council say no members of staff have objected to the policy.
A lot of authorities have already introduced this policy, and some have a complete no-smoking policy. I could understand that because that really is taking away staff's rights, I believe, but this actually doesn't take away their rights at all.
The council say that the issue was first raised by the staff themselves, as there was tension over the fact some smokers would clock off for a cigarette break and some wouldn't. And if such tensions exist here, it's likely they apply to other workplaces too.
More employers will now probably follow the lead of Breckland. I think they have been, rightly or wrongly, depending on one's views on the subject, the trailblazers, and I would be pretty sure that over the coming weeks and months we may find other employers following suit.
Smoking is already banned in hospitals, but policy varies widely across other workplaces in our region. The insurance company Aviva, based in Norwich, says smoking breaks are agreed with management, while Vauxhall in Luton doesn't have a specific policy. Colchester Borough Council asks employees to take smoking breaks in their own time, while Northampton Borough Council says that staff shouldn't take smoking breaks during the core hours of operation. Smokers braving the weather are a common sight in our region, and campaigners say they already suffer enough.
This latest policy, I think, really discriminates against smokers. I'm an employer. I've employed smokers many times over the years, and I've never had a problem with smokers taking too many cigarette breaks.
One group at Breckland Council who are not going to have to clock off for a smoke are the people who actually voted to pass the policy. Councillors will be exempt from the new rule, as they don't work set hours. Elodie Harper, Anglia News, Dereham.
Now, this is a story we'd like to know your views on. Should workers have to clock in and out for cigarette breaks? Well, do email your thoughts to us at jonathanandbecky@itv.com.
Or you can tweet us at ITV Anglia or join in the debate on our Facebook page.
Look forward to hearing from you soon. Now, a court's been hearing how 2 nursery nurses from Hertfordshire allegedly mistreated a 2-year-old boy in their care.
Lisa Weimer and Rebecca Robbins have both denied cruelty charges at St Albans Magistrates Court, stating they were just playing with him. Hannah Pettifer has been in court today and joins us now. Hannah.
Well, today, 22-year-old Lisa Weimer and 21-year-old Rebecca Robbins, both nursery nurses at the same daycare unit in Hertfordshire, took to the stand. And when they arrived at court this morning, they both didn't want to be identified. But they've been working with children for a total of 9 years, and at the same Hertfordshire nursery for 4 years and 2 years in total. Now, they both knew that the policy at the nursery meant that CCTV filmed them as they worked throughout the day, which meant that the incident that happened on the 17th of December last year was all caught on camera. Now, the jury saw today in the CCTV footage when the 2-year-old boy, who can't be identified for legal reasons, he was told off for throwing things, and you saw how he pretended to be asleep after being told off. Now, we were told today that this wasn't unusual, that whenever he got into trouble or whenever he was asked to do something that he didn't want to do, he would pretend to be asleep, fall quite limp on the floor and not want to be moved. Now, you can see Lisa Weimer trying to engage with with him, trying to make him move, but she doesn't. When she can't do this, she got hold of his feet and she dragged him into another room. She's also seen to nudge him with her foot and also take off his shoes and socks and also slightly pull down his trousers. Now, Rebecca Robbins also gets involved then and pulls down his trousers slightly further. Now, they both maintain that this was all done in the spirit of play, that he was happy, he was laughing, he was smiling throughout, but they both also admit that with hindsight, this was inappropriate behaviour. Now, 3 more witnesses are due to give evidence tomorrow morning, but the trial itself is expected to last until the end of the week.
All right, Hannah, thank you very much indeed for that. Now, moving on, there's fresh hope for investors from our region who feared they'd lost thousands of pounds following the collapse of the firm Key Data. They've discovered they could get payments of up to £50,000.
But the saga is still a long way from being resolved, with the Norwich and Peterborough Building Society bracing itself for a multi-million-pound compensation payout. Malcolm Robertson reports.
The last 4 years have been a dreadful worry for Jen and Jeff Palmer. They invested thousands in a retirement nest egg in the firm Key Data, and through their local branch of the Norwich and Peterborough Building Society at North Walsham in Norfolk, took out 3 policies. But when Key Data went into administration last year, almost 20,000 customers feared they might lose their money.
There's a lot of people who were missold this product, who basically put their life savings into it. How have they got to get on? A lot of people were using it as a pension. They were using it as a full backup for their old age pension. These people haven't got time to wait.
But now the Financial Services Compensation Scheme says there are grounds on which to consider claims by Key Data investors. For Jen and Jeff Palmer and thousands of other Key Data investors, there is a glimmer of hope. The announcement means that those eligible will be entitled to compensation of up to £50,000. Now, they might not get as much as that, it could be a lot less, but at least they feel that something is happening, although it could be the end of next month before they find out definitely what they'll get. Earlier this month, we featured the case of Carol Scholes from Wisbech, who'd invested £250,000 in Key Data after selling her business. Again, this was through her local branch of the Norwich and Peterborough. The saga has prompted local MPs to meet the Financial Services Authority to find out what the FSA could learn from this.
There are many people across the region who've had their savings and their pensions absolutely devastated by this, so this is very gravely serious. I'm very pleased to see yesterday's update that compensation in this next batch will be started.
It's an anxious time for the Norwich and Peterborough. More than 3,000 of their customers were sold Key Data policies, and the Building Society faces compensation claims of up to £50 million over claims it missold them. NNP continues to be actively and productively engaged in discussions with a number of relevant parties, with a view to seeking a resolution to the Key Data situation for its Key Data customers. Tonight, the Palmers can feel a bit more confident of a retirement holiday, although they acknowledge there's still a long way to go. Malcolm Robertson, Anglia News.